Well, hello. This is Unclejona here once again, surfing the sea of beer, so you guys don't have to, or so you guys can take away, yeah, the good and the bad and everything in between. Um, I'm finally back in Yorkshire, Arr. And after suggestions from Philip, he's probably in the comments, we're going to do this Fava bean stout, which is here. But I didn't notice straight away, there's also roasted fava bean snacks. And I also had them, and I think they were pretty tasty. I mean, they were just beans, um, beans means Heinz, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're doing the beer today. There we go. There is the Wheel of Doom, Fava Magic. It's free assembly. They're the brewer, and obviously Honest Bean Company making the beans. And it's got a quite cut. That sort of spider diagram looks more like a fish to me. Um, a fish swimming to the west, which is where the wind. Oh no, it's coming from the east, isn't it now? Sorry, I was going to say it comes from the west, but got it around the wrong way. So it's nice and warm over here. It's been bloody freezing so far this summer, but it's finally warming up. So we've got barley, we've got fava beans, we've got paprika, white pepper, pimento cloves, salt, onion, and garlic powder. Jesus, that's ridiculous. It's a modern spin on a timeless classic. Dark grains, dark Munich malt give this beer a cereal level of complexity, as well as its black colour tinged with red in the right coloured light. Fava bean is added for yet another intrigue, lending to umami. Um, umami, which is one of those flavours which I don't get really, especially from beer, maybe from food, but hey, umami. It's one of those things that it's a food thing, shall we say, and unfortunately, sometimes beer people get an idea in their head from another source, um, and then go to town on it. Indeed. Right, let's see. I can't actually read that on the can, so hopefully it'll focus. Yeah, fantastic. So ingredients, water, malted fava. Yeah, it's got all that stuff in it. Got some hops and yeast in there too, obviously. Um, Absolutely ridiculous. And hopefully we're still in date. Yeah, we are, which is cool. Let's have a look at the can, shall we? Fava Magic. Fava. All right, Fava. Um, and it's a stout, obviously, or a dark beer. Kind of weird, postmodern, psychedelic, weird kind of stuff on the can, which is always good. And I quite like the black top seals. I don't know why. I just quite like something that's slightly unusual and different. So this needs care because I've had this one a long time, fair few months, but it didn't explode. I was worried because it's got beans and all sorts of weird things, which, as you well know, dear viewer, beans means gas. Um, I was worried. My glass is a bit dirty. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, look, you can just about focus on the dirtiness. Don't worry, it's water. Our water's quite hard round here. But then that's good for brewing stouts. So, come on to that. That, my dear viewer, looks proper. Wow. And we are definitely, I'm not giving you the finger, over a finger's head, and it's off white. See if I can get a nice headshot. No, exploding kind of bubbles there, which is cool. Right, let's do one of these. I always seem to be doing the the same shot over and over. So I apologise. I will try and do some more funny shots, but I'm still racked with flu, summer flu, cold, dare I say COVID. So my senses are not firing the best way. But apparently, with this beer, that's good. You can definitely get some kind of cereal, some maltiness off there. Coffee bitterness too. Definitely coffee over chocolate. But there is a sort of sweetness there too. Hmm, just what you need on a school night, isn't it? Oh, the other thing before I forget, anyone that's local to me, so we're talking Kent, talking East Kent specifically, the Sandwich um, Festival, Folk and Beer Festival, it's called, is on. I don't think it's next weekend. I think it might be the weekend after. Lots of beers from places like what's the Ram one? It's not Ram. Gads, Time and Tide. Got a new pub there. What else? Shepherd Neame, of course. Um, but I had a bit of a wander through Sandwich on the weekend. Gorgeous weather, ridiculously hot. Um, at the French market, which didn't have that much French stuff. It's a bit weird. But then, since Brexit, beg your pardon, there don't seem to be that many. I mean, there were a few French people around, don't get me wrong, but it's less easy to get here. Um, Back in the day, in Roman times, where I am is actually on an island, but it's not anymore because the Wonson Channel kind of silted up. Well, to some degree, there's still a river there. But down where Sandwich is, it used to be a port. So all the way from Roman times, all the way up through medieval times. Um, yeah, it was right on the sea, and now it isn't so much. Still got some water running through it, and you can still get to the sea. But yeah, how the mighty have fallen, shall we say? Right, let's dive in. Look, that head's almost gone completely. That's a shame. Right, let's see what we get. Cheers and beers, guys. Happy Monday. Ooh, hmm, interesting. Quite bitter. I am getting a bit of that chocolatey kind of creaminess, um, but yeah, the kind of bean or like legume pulse kind of taste is there too. Um, I am also getting sort of odd tastes from, I guess, from the herbs and spices they put in there. It's kind of, I guess this was meant to be like a winter warmer, like a wintry ale, as opposed to we're almost at midsummer. We've only had like 2 or 3 days of sunshine. It's crazy. Whoa, whoa. Mm. This is, I guess, what you call a complex beer. Um, yeah, it's not the flavors aren't necessarily melding together. Um, it's more cacophony than orchestra, put it that way. Um, there's some tastes in there which you think you recognise. You go, oh yeah, that's kind of like bitter chocolate, and then you go, actually, bitter something else. And dear viewer, the second sip as I went down the glass got a bit more kind of chewy and which I don't mind, to be perfectly honest. But I do get some people kind of have substance to the beer isn't that great. But yeah, things aren't singing from the same hymn sheet. They're kind of, yeah, there's a bit of discordance. Pardon me, in the opera of this beer. Tell you what I can see though, there's definitely some tide lines in there. Did I see? I didn't actually look out for it when I was looking in here. Malted barley. No, apparently no yeast. And no oats. So those tie lines are purely from the barley, plus the additions, maybe the creaminess of the bean, because you can make bean milk, believe it or not, if you mash up your beans and then squash the living daylights out of them, you can extract bean milk and weird stuff like that. You can also do it from other things. You can do it from oats, obviously, certain types of nuts and seeds and that kind of stuff. But bean milk, hmm. I'm looking out for the umami on here, and yeah, I've got a rough idea of kind of what umami is, but this is just odd army. It's not. It's not exactly bitter. It's not sweet. It's not sweet. It's not sour. So I can kind of see that this kind of mix of flavors would be called something different. I don't know. I just think it's discordant as opposed to an actual thing. But who am I, dear viewer? Whoa, but Jesus. Ooh. Yeah, that last mouthful was full of kind of, I guess, settled out particulates that have kind of. I mean, this one's been in the. I've had it in the fridge 3 days, I think, but before that, it was sitting in a box for like 3 or 4 months. So I'm not surprised that stuff has settled out to some degree. And it was a bit of like, whoa. You know, if you have a Sunday roast and the gravy is a little bit too thick or not mixed very well, and you get some sort of lumps of gravy powder, or you get thicker lumps of stuff, and when you eat them, it explodes on your palate. A sort of, yeah, gritty, dry, burnt, caramelized stuff. That's kind of half the story here. Um, but there is a sweetness and creaminess there too. Um, which is kind of nice. Um, but yeah, bit too much. So free assembly. I'm going to cough again. Sorry, dear viewer. um, free assembly. Fava magic with the Honest Bean Company. Come on, dude. At least focus on there. There we go. The Honest Bean Company and free assembly. Should it focus on me? Should it focus on the can? I don't know. But this one is Fava Magic Stout. 4.5%. Um, Perhaps not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was a little bit swayed by people saying, "Go on, drink that one. You'll really like it." Ha ha ha. It wasn't too bad, but it was, yeah, a discordant mess of flavors because they put too much stuff in it. Simple as that. Anyway, this has been your loving Uncle Jonna here. If you've got this far into the video, it obviously means you like my content. So why not think about clicking subscribe down below and go through my back catalogue We're talking over 1,000 reviews. On YouTube, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's quite 1,000 yet, but um, on Untapped, we're getting up to 1,500 if we haven't passed 1,500 reviews. So I have drunk quite a fair few different beers. Think about subscribing, hit me up on the usuals. You can obviously get in touch with me, drop a comment down below. And until next time, remember, guys, drink some beer because it does make you smarter.